Merry Christmas. Welcome to the Sunday night chat. This will be a short one because I just did it and the phone stopped recording 50 seconds into it, and I hope that doesn't happen again. What a nightmare. What a stinking nightmare. I really didn't have a whole lot to say. I mainly just wanted to say that I'm super grateful for everybody who's here. I am, truly. And I just have to thank you for devoting your time to listening to me blather. Hopefully I make you chuckle once in a while. I did get a Christmas and birthday card, and this is from Jason Perry. Super nice guy. Put a few bucks in there for me, and the card says, "A small token of appreciation for all you do. Have lunch or dinner on me, or put this towards yet another watch. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha." I haven't bought a new watch in a while. I have this problem with yes, I have a problem with watches. It's funny, I've been wearing this one that I got for next to nothing compared to all the other ones. It's insane. It's one of those things. If I find a quality, well-spec'd watch for under $100, I have that mindset of why wouldn't I buy it? Which is not the way to think. I've never been a fiscally responsible person. I'm a spender, and it's not good. It's helped over the years. There's times when I need money and I just sell stuff, and so everything's kind of money in the bank. Anyhow, then it says, share this on YouTube if you like. It would be nice to know you received it. Rock on, Jason P. Guys in Florida. Super nice thing. Thank you, dude. It's not. I don't get cards these days. It's very, very rare. But it's always nice to be reminded that people care. It's cool. As you guys know, I'm not young. I've been living alone since I was 14. So I haven't really had a birthday or a Christmas. It's very rare that I do anything for Christmas. I'm usually just sitting here by myself, like I am right now. And I'm totally fine with it, but it is normal for me to kind of wall myself off a little bit. I end up getting phone calls is what happens this time of year, and especially on Christmas, it's going to happen. That's always pleasant. It's always interesting who's calling and why and what they want to talk about. It's nice. It's a nice thing. I mentioned a bunch of people from back home when the camera shut off. I'm going to get up from time to time and check this. Okay, we're still rolling this time. I don't know what happened. Who did I talk about back home and why? I guess it doesn't matter. It's a thing doing this. There are these issues that pop up from time to time, and you can't remember what the heck you talked about. And this was a relatively short video for you anyhow. I'm wondering if I should just keep this to like 5 minutes for you this time. Are you going to get upset with that? I don't know. I'm going to go to Arizona. I'm not sure when. I have to work. I'm working over on the house there. You guys saw me work on the door, and I didn't restore it. I repaired it, and I made it pretty nice. And then I'm doing the jams around the windows and revarnishing them, and I'll be over there tomorrow. I got a couple windows left to do over the next couple days, and try to do a few things in the shop. But what I think I need to do is load up the truck with stuff. I've got some tools I want to bring with me to Arizona. It makes me nervous, the whole thing about going there, because I got to deal. My sister has, she's been pretty good. She got a lot of stuff out of the house. It's pretty empty, but there's a bunch of stuff still in the living room and a lot of stuff in the garage still. And I can't take it anymore because she's had a couple years to get rid of the stuff there. And she keeps just telling me it's going to go away, but it's not. And I need it gone. I can't have it in it anymore. So I have to go through this process with her now where it's like, what's left? What do you got sitting here? You got a couple bucks for this and that. Is there $300 worth of stuff here? Here's $300. And then I'm going to take everything and put it out on the street with a sign that's for free. And if she wants to take that home with her and try to sell it from her apartment, she could do that. Because I can't do it anymore. I want to work on that living room. What she does is she has the living room with some tables in there with these dolls and crap that my mom had bought. And she treats that room as like a yard sale. She lets people in the house, which I don't like, but whatever. And because it's wear and tear on the floors and everything else, And then there's a lot of stuff in the garage empty bins and stuff, but a lot of other stuff. And I have to, she doesn't understand. That's going to be a workshop while I'm working on the house. I can have nothing else in there. That's going to be tools, benches to work on. I need room to work. That stuff has to be out completely, 100%. And I have to do everything. It's just, I can't have anything in that house. It's going to be a Spartan living for me when I'm there until I get one room done, the next room done, the kitchen done, right? And I start getting more stuff in to live there. So I think my birthday's on the 28th. So I think maybe that's when I'll drive out, maybe. And I figure I'll be there for New Year's Eve. I like Bisbee a lot. There's a little bar there called St. Elmo. And they've got Guinness on tap. It's the only place I can find that has that. There's some people I know there from here, from LA. Maybe I could hook up with them if they're going to be there. It'd be nice to see them. And yeah, that would be interesting. So it would be good. But regardless, I'm going to go by myself. And if I get too tipsy, I just sleep in the van. So hopefully I'll find Bisbee doesn't have a lot of streets that are flat. You know, it's a mountain town. There's all these kooky roads. If I get a flat enough space, I could sack out in the van if I drink too much. That's what I'm thinking. And I plan on spending, you know, a little bit of time there this time. I'll be alone and can finally get some work done is what I'm hoping. We'll see how that goes. It's just, it bums me out thinking about it because I got to deal with my sister, who could be great. But you never know with her. You know, some people, it's got to be their way. It's the way they're seeing it. That's the way it is. But they're not understanding that what they're doing is affecting me. It's slowing me down from getting something done. And when I put this to her this way, I don't know how she's going to react to that. She can sometimes be volatile, flip out or something. I don't want her to do that. So hopefully everything will be fine. I think I've been pretty patient with this. So it has to stop. I have to make a move here, and I have to be a little bit stern about it and not worry about her, how she feels about it, because it's affecting my life now. You know, I got to start moving on with my life. It's been long enough. It's been, like I said, it's been a couple of years already now. I'm over it. So I got to get back to that. So when you guys ask me, why aren't I there already? This is why. Let's say I decided to move to Arizona tomorrow and pack everything up. I don't know how I would do it. One of you was actually pretty cool. You offered to help with this giant trailer, which literally wouldn't be a problem fitting everything I own in there, including the shop, and doing one move. I don't remember your name, but I think I saved the email. I might take you up on that, man, when the time comes. But if I wanted to do that next week, let's say, I still have all that crap in the house that I'd have to get out of there. And it's a problem, you know. So I need to deal with that first. And my plan, because you guys keep asking me, is over a period of time that is not a set period of time, because it's unimportant. I plan on doing work here, in between doing work here, going there, staying there for weeks at a time, and getting things dialed in enough, building some things out, moving some stuff around. There's a lot of stuff here in LA, you'd be amazed, that's free, that people give away for free. That's quality stuff. So I could pick up some shelving, things like that, do a trip, install it. And then as I move stuff there, I could do it. The thing is, I don't like the interior of this house. The walls have this knocked down finish. Like they coat it and they skim over it. It's got a texture to it, which collects dust and crap. I hate it. I freaking hate it. And then it's all semi-gloss paint. So even if you wanted to paint over it, you really should hit it with a chemical for bite and prime it. And then I still don't like the texture. So I'm like, I guess I would have to plaster over everything, or at least put a skim coat to make, or go over with drywall, or rip it all out and re-drywall. There's a shit ton of work. So what I'm going to end up doing in a lot of the rooms is like paneling it, like going over it with something else that's cool. And so I'm envisioning, like, in some places they sell that fake brick that looks pretty real. Brick, wood, wall, like breaking it up and just making it kind of funky cool. It's going to be cool, man. You can imagine. You guys see what I do for a living. So, and I got to do this built-in wall thing. When you first walk in, you open a door and there's a wall here. And that's where I'm going to have the TV and everything. So it doesn't protrude into the room. The way my mom had it, she had furniture there. So you walk in the house and you got to walk around all this crap. That's silly. You want to be able to walk in and not be obstructed by anything. So I got to get that done. There's a lot I have to do. And there's outside stuff that needs to get done. There's just a lot of work there. And I think it'll be fun for you guys to see what I come up with when I'm building things and everything. I think it'll be helpful for the channel. So, excuse me. I got to get going on that, and this is the year. That's it. There's no more screwing around with it. I got to start doing it. So that's going to happen. I was talking before the camera went off. Let's just check it again. All right, we're still rolling. I'm like paranoid now. I brought up back home, it came up. It comes up from time to time here, and I keep reminding you guys, I'm just a dude. There's nothing special about me. I'm not any better than anybody else or anything like that. I'm just sitting here talking to my phone, man. So, but it is weird when people treat you like you're something special. It doesn't affect me. Like, it's not, like I'm not going to be walking around like I think I'm something special. That does happen to a lot of people, and you see it. And they become less likable, because of it, I think. So I'll always be humble, believe me. But what's weird about it, and it weirds me out, but there's nothing I can do to change it, and it's nice, but it's just odd, is I've walked into a few businesses and a few friends' houses, and then also people send me pictures where they're watching me. Like, it's weird. You walk in, I went into the Shoshone Museum, and I forget your name, dude. You're really cool. He owns it and runs it, rather. And he's watching my channel when I walked in. And that's happened multiple times with other places. And now I get pictures. People send me pictures of themselves at home watching me on the screen. And they're big. That's scary because I'm aging. I don't know why you would want my face on like a 50-inch television screen. You must be a glutton for friggin' punishment, man, because this is why here for all you you got a 70-inch screen. Like, how does that work? Merry Christmas! Like, I hope that just freaked you out because that's crazy to me. My God, it's just weird. It's funny too. Like, I get this thing where, and this is funny and kind of weird, but nice. I have these exes that are married, and I get along real well with their husbands, which is also funny. We don't really talk about it. It never really comes up. But they watch me, or there's friends of mine that watch. So then if I'm friends with their wives, I'm hearing from them from time to time. It's like, dude, you're in my life every day still. Because I can hear your voice in the other room because my husband's watching you every night. It's crazy. I'm still annoying these women. Decades later, I'm still here to annoy you. It's just funny to me. And there's just a weird dichotomy there too, because these guys, you have to be cool. If you're married to a woman I went out with, you got it, and you like it. That's a weird, because that what was going on there. So you can't be like the jealous type or anything like that, which I respect them. I'm so happy that so many of these women I went out with ended up with really good dudes that are good providers, good husbands, good fathers. It just makes me feel good that they found somebody, because I wasn't going to do it, at least not at that time. It is weird looking back on it and thinking, wow, that any one of these women would have been great. I just didn't have that mindset where I wanted to do that. It was too much stress. Mainly because I always had it in my mind watching what my dad went through. I never wanted to go through what my dad went through. So that was part of the thing. At any rate, I was talking about stuff back home too, again, before the camera shut off, because I don't know why, but I brought up my friend Greg for some reason, and I can't remember why now, but I'll bring him up again because he has a business. He's in New Jersey, and he trains dogs called Bark Busters. And it's because he wrote something to me the other day, and he said, I'd ask you how you're doing, but I know how you're doing because I watch all your videos. Which is, I'm sure his wife hates it. The funniest thing is his mom. His mom is, I love his mom. But, we don't see eye to eye with the way the world works, so he and I will talk about that from time to time. So it's funny. But I can just imagine them giving him grief for actually listening to anything I have to say. And Greg was such a cool guy. He's just a nice, he comes from a great family. These just super nice. Seaside saved my life in a way. I got lived there when I was very young. My dad had a seasonal business there. We lived there year round when I was little. But when I started going to school, we went up north. My mom wanted to be closer with her family. So we were just there in the summers. And then they got divorced. I was 14. I started living alone because of that. It's a long story. But I ended up going to school there. And my home life up until that point wasn't terrific. It was volatile. And then when I was living alone, I'm down the shore now, and I'm going into people's houses where, like, they're normal people. Like, they love each other. It's like a Norman Rockwell painting, you know? People eat dinner together, and they have these functions, and there's kids in and out of the house, and the parents are nice, and nobody's screaming, yelling, cursing, and getting smacked around or anything. It was a nice thing. It made me realize, oh, this is normal to be, like, this is real. Like, it's not just a TV show. People can live like this. That was a big deal for me, and Greg's one of those people. And he was this little guy. I'm a few years older than Greg, I think. And he was a small stature guy, but he had a growth spurt. Now he's taller than me, which ain't saying much. You know, I'm only 5'9". But this guy, it was always weird. I never understood. He played hockey, which is not, we're in New Jersey, you know, at the beach. But he was a goalie. And you got to think about that. I'm not a big hockey guy. My buddy John, who also is another funny guy, you know, we used to talk more often, but now he watches the videos. He doesn't need to talk to me about anything. He knows everything that's going on in my life. When I start talking to him, like, yeah, but he goes, I know, I watched the video. I spring up another, hey, I know, I watched the video. Like, so we never have to talk again. Is that what you're telling me? It's so crazy. But being a goalie, you got to think about that. Because a hockey puck, you know, it's like this big around, it's like an inch or so thick. It's hard. And people just whacking that thing at you. Bam, bam. You know, 100 miles an hour. Greg, let me know in the comments how fast a hockey puck travels. You have to have lightning quick, you know, hand-eye coordination and reaction timing so you don't end up with a fractured friggin' skull, man. I could never do. I don't know. I don't think I could do that. That's impressive. And on top of everything else, man, married a beautiful, from what I can see, super nice human being. He's got these 2 beautiful daughters. You know, I'm so proud and happy, not just for him, but for so many people that I came up with that are doing well. It just makes me feel good. That's all. So thank you. And it's not just the people I came up with, but even the new people I'm kind of meeting now through having this channel, those of you who are watching. And when I meet you, I get to know you a little bit and I talk to you, I'm just so impressed with the caliber of the human beings that are watching the channel. You know, it's pretty good. There's a few, you know, there's a few of you out there got some issues. I did block somebody from the channel recently. It's not I don't like deleting comments or anything. We've been through this already, but this one particular person was multiple times, every video saying very bizarre stuff, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So that's it. He's gone. I don't mind admitting it. That's just the way it is. If you don't like it, don't let the door hit you. Matter of fact, I did the video cooking. Maybe we could talk about this. Maybe it won't be such a short video. I did get a late start. It's almost 4:30 right now. Usually I do this around 2 o'clock, and by now it's uploaded or it's uploading. So I apologize. It's going to get there late for you. But I did that video the other day when I was cooking the stew, and I wanted to talk about the history of UFOs and humankind, and I discussed the human record of UFOs. What's been left for us. Everything from cave art and petroglyphs and hieroglyphs, a lot of it in the hieroglyphs. And then once we started printing things, there's newspapers. There's at least 2 sightings, one in Switzerland, one in Germany from the 1500s, where it was, you know, woodblock print in the newspaper of UFOs in the sky over these towns, doing all kinds of kooky stuff, exactly what we're seeing now all over the world. It's just not New Jersey. I talked about all that, and I got this one comment from a guy. It was just, I don't remember what it was verbatim. It was just a little short statement, and I'm out. Like, I don't believe you saying this. You know, I'm out. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out, dude. I don't care. You don't have to let me know that. What you think of me is really none of my business. Like, making me want to know that is just bizarre to me, but whatever. I think it's funny. So it's a thing. But I'm not even sure if I watched it. Usually I'll watch the video one time after I post it, and I don't remember watching that one, so I should probably go back and watch it. Anyhow, I am not trying to convince you people of anything. I'm just saying. And right now, because I did say this before this drone thing, it was happening. I was unaware of it because they weren't reporting it. But I said after the election that I'm nervous a little bit because between now and the time Trump comes in would be a good time for some adversary to want to do something to the country, right? Because nobody's running there's a cabal of jackasses running the country right now. And they have been, right? For the last 4 years. And not getting anything right. And lying about the ability of the president that we have right now and everything else. Because Trump is not president yet. Well, you wouldn't know it based on recent news conferences. And he's already talking to Putin and all these people. He's already affecting change in a positive way. Already. So that's a good thing. But it is Christmas. And these things are up there. No denying it. So I'm slightly nervous. Now, there's a guy, Nick Pope, who, if you don't know who he is, checking the camera. We're still rolling. I think we're safe. This guy, Nick Pope, he's a nerd. He worked for the Ministry of Defense. He was in the government in Britain for over 20 years. Basically, I believe his job was to debunk the UFO stuff. He's like the high neck of the world, but in Britain. He's retired now, and he's telling the truth about everything, right? With the UFOs and aliens and all this other stuff. And so I saw him in a podcast the other day, and he says there's chatter in the scientific astronomy community that one of the telescopes has found something that's approaching us. A big thing. And that's all he had to say about it for now. But that's going to be coming out. They're going to have to release that. So that's probably the reason why we're seeing these things over the skies here. Just to get us used to it. They're just conditioning us for it. Maybe none of this will happen. Maybe I've got the wrong take on it, but I think I'm right about it. And if I'm not right about it, it still doesn't matter to me. I posted something on Facebook the other day because I was watching something. Somebody was talking about skepticism, and I had this epiphany where, of course, I should have put it in the context of the UFO phenomenon because that's what was the motivation behind it. But I said skeptics are often incorrect because their skepticism prevents them from doing the research. And a couple people said, well, that's not true. When I'm skeptical, it makes me want to do the research. I think that you're reading into the word skepticism incorrectly. Then I found today, I wasn't looking for it. I was watching another interview with Joe Rogan, and they were talking about UFOs. And he was talking to one of the pilots that interacted with like the Tic Tac thing. And he said it, and he was talking about skepticism and how it's like a lazy way to think. I put the comment in. Matter of fact, let me interject that because I shot it. I'm going to put it in right here, and then I'll get back to you.
Not going, who knows what this fucking thing is? They're not looking at it like cleanly. They're looking at it like a quote-unquote skeptic. I don't like the idea of being a skeptic. Not that I don't think you should be skeptical of certain things. I certainly think you should be, but there's a lot of people that brand themselves as skeptics. And I think it's a lazy way to look at things. I really do. Because I think you're just looking for the holes in things without looking at it objectively. If you wanted to be a scientist, if you wanted to be someone who is a fan of science, then you have to look at it as a thing. Like, look at this information and let's study this without any bias, any preconceived notions. I don't think they're doing that. They're looking at it and they're trying to find a way where they can justify that it's fake. And they're just doing all sorts of mental gymnastics to try to make it fake. That video that you show where that thing slips off to the left and takes off at incredible rates of speed, that alone should freak people the fuck out.
So that's how I feel about it. He summed it up pretty much exactly as I would put it if I was in that conversation. That's how I feel about it. So, yeah, that's all I meant by that. I'm just saying you have an open mind. Look, it's Christmas time. I'm hoping that you guys are with loved ones and your family and everything. And keep it light, keep it happy. try to be positive, remember to try to uplift one another and everything else. But this thing's happening, this phenomenon, and I think you guys should be talking about it. And, you know, there's only so many reasons. Look, first of all, let's say you don't believe in the UFO thing. Well, it's either us, it's a foreign adversary, or it's UFOs. That's it. Those are your three. And what I'm seeing, it's UFOs. There's real drones up there, and there's real craft, there's real helicopters, real planes, but there's also stuff up there that we can't do. All right? You know, and no heat signature, no propulsion system visible, no wings, no propellers, right? Some of these things are, it's funny too, because like Rogan had something on, they looked, oh, it's just a star. Yeah, it's not a star if it's within our atmosphere. If it's hovering over somebody's house, 300 feet above somebody else, that's not a star. These plasma things, you know? So, and there's been some weird photographs of these things. They don't look like anything that you would be able to conceptualize of what that could be. And that's what's screwing people up. So, excuse me, let's say for the sake of discussion that they are UFOs, then, and there is something coming. What's that mean? Well, I think that there's things happening to the planet. That's what I talked about. And we're entering this age where the planet is in a specific spot in space right now where we're going to have issues with our gravitational pull because these other things are happening. Asteroids, comets, all kinds of things are going to start happening. We're already seeing the evidence of crazy things happening on the planet, right? It's not man-made climate change that's doing it. It's not. It's the cyclical nature of things. We're in that spot right now where we were 12,000 years ago, where something came here, screwed up the planet, killed off a lot of the life on the planet, and the survivors left a record because it was such a scary thing that screwed everything up and killed most of the people. They left a record of what the constellations in the sky looked like at that time, and that's the same sky we have today. That's how we know we're entering into this phase. So it could be that, like the Bible story, God's coming back and it can take us with him to protect us. But you're going to probably have free will whether or not you would want to do that. So maybe it's good that the phone went off because I didn't mention any of this. I don't want to rehash the other video, but I think it's important for you to think about. I'm not saying I have all the answers and I'm right about this, but I think it's possible. That's all I'm saying. I think it's possible that I'm right about this. So be with your loved ones and talk to them about that and maybe bring it up as a discussion and as just a fun thought experiment. What would you do if you were given that option? Would you go or would you stay? Now, for me personally, I think my job would be to stay. I'd want to go, but I think my job is to stay. Now, a cataclysmic event could mean I'm going to die anyhow, but we don't die. We're not going to die anyhow. So I would be released from this body. I'd go on to the next thing anyhow, whether I die during this event that takes place on the planet or not. Right? You understand what I'm saying? It's just that I have skills and a mindset that could help others if I stay here and other people are staying here. That's just the way my mind. Plus, I feel like I could be kicking myself. If this all happens, it sounds like a science fiction movie. Let's just say it's a science fiction movie and we're talking it out. And let's say these ships come and they're here to help us. By the way, all over the planet, there are these intricate cave systems that have been found. And we're talking multi-level down into the earth, hundreds of feet with rooms where you could talk here and here's people there. And they had ventilation systems and they had cattle down there and people living down there. And they were producing food down there. It's mostly around the Middle East, but there's places in China, Vietnam. They found these giant cave systems that are very, 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 very old. What was the purpose of that? The only purpose of living underground is that the surface of the earth was so dangerous to live on. If you were going to live at all, you had to be under the ground. These things exist. I'm not making this stuff up. You can look it up. So let's just say, I don't know. I think it would be an interesting thing if it did happen and I chose to stay. And if I was able to survive, what that life would be like living here in some sort of apocalyptic scenario. It could be horrible and scary, But if I'm here and I have the opportunity to help people that can't help themselves, I feel like maybe that would be the whole reason why I'm around right now anyhow. Crazy. I know. You're like, this guy's out of his friggin' mind. And then the last thing I'll leave you with, we'll talk about the van real quick. that was like a comedy routine yesterday underneath the van, and I knew it. It was just an experiment. I'm getting this rattle in the muffler, and I read the comments when I did the first video on it, just telling people, and a lot of people said they have this issue happen, not just with Flowmaster, but other ones where the baffles inside can separate. It's a new muffler, so we're going to cut it open. We're going to take it out, cut it open, take the top and bottom off, re-weld it back together, and make it better than it was from the factory. But that's going to be a few weeks. I've got this other thing where it's rattling inside the pipe aft of the muffler, and what I think is going on, there's a couple small pieces of pipe that Dave welded together there, my buddy Dave, and he has a good system. It's pretty smart, but in this one spot, the pipe dips down and comes back up like a trap, like under your sink. I stuck a magnet in there. I didn't pull anything out. He has a system where he has the pipe coming out, and he takes a section of pipe about an inch or so thick, cuts it, then he removes a section of that so he could squeeze it tight and stick it inside here and spot weld it in a couple spots, slide the next pipe over it, and weld that all the way around. And because it's in this trap section, you build moisture in your exhaust system when the car is running. And with these short drives, that moisture could sit in there. If you're not giving it gas to blow it all out, and I'm not good with that, you should probably do that. Rev your engine before you shut off the key to blow the moisture out if you're driving short distances. I think what's happening is the water collected in there, and maybe it rusted a little inside, and maybe it rusted away one of those spot welds, and that's what's rattling, is the piece of metal that he put in there. That's my best guess on that. So we're going to know, because we're going to take the muffler off, we're going to cut those pipes, we're going to put the new engine lift brackets in, because I only have the 2-inch engine lift brackets. This is the Astro van. Let's just get into this real quick, because some of you don't understand. Oh shit, are we still rolling? Yeah. Okay, we're still rolling. It's paranoid. The thing about the Astro van, for those of you that aren't here for that and you don't understand, there's not another vehicle like the Astro van on the road. It's a heavy-duty vehicle for what it is, for the size that it is. It's this footprint of a Subaru. The short wheelbase on it, the narrowness of it, easy to drive in the city, parallel park, and everything else. And they were built very robust. They're very well-made vehicles. And the beauty of it is that the way Chevy works is they were putting these vehicles out where a lot of the parts can be used in different models of vehicles. And there's tons of parts. They made this vehicle for 20 years. It's the all-wheel drive version. What a lot of you might not know is you could take that transfer case out of the all-wheel drive and put a S10 transfer case in there. Now you got manual 4-wheel drive. I did that. That's a real 4x4, right? Plus I put posi traction in the rear end, so both wheels are turning, right? I re-geared it to 410 gears. I put a new computer in it, so it's set up for the 410 gears, works with everything else with the speedo and everything. I put I had the shifting points changed for the transmission. It's got a new transmission in it. Now the gears shift quicker. Even though I have a 32-inch tire, my fuel economy in the city is far better than that thing was stock. Ridiculously better. So I've done a lot of things. The only thing left in that truck is the engine and the alternator. I'm guessing it's the same alternator. That's the next thing to do, is put an alternator that has a little more output on it, because you plug so many things into the truck to charge them when you're driving. So I'm going to do that next. But that's why I have that van. It's amazing. There's not another vehicle. They don't make another one like it. So I'll have that till the day I die. There's no reason for me to ever get rid of that thing. And then when it comes to this trip for Arizona, I'll be packing that up with tools and everything else. And some machines I got to do to set up a shop. It's getting dark now. We're working off the lights, the incandescent light bulbs in here. I don't know how this looks on screen. I hope it's okay. That's enough. Let me let you go. Let's keep this short. I don't want you to waste your time with me today. You're all probably thinking about Christmas in the next couple days. Some of you probably have Christmas shopping to do and everything else. So again, I hope that you can all be with somebody that you care about. So at least somebody you like for Christmas, and have a good time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, Christmas week, and that's it for now. All right. Thanks for being here. I just want you to know, if I haven't said it already, I probably don't say it enough. I truly appreciate every one of you. I'm so glad that you're here. It's a big deal for me. And that's it. Merry Christmas. Be kind to one another.